Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Chris Holt, and in today's video, we're going to be installing a 76mm ported throttle body. Now factory, it's a 72mm unit, and mine isn't ported or anything like that. And so I decided to get the larger 76mm ported throttle body for my car. Now in total, this cost about $350. It was about $250 from Overkill, getoverkill.ca. And then I sent that over to Kenny Camaro Roberts on the Facebook forums, and he did that port for me. Now both of these guys are the go-to guys for porting and for tuning and throttle bodies. Now why didn't I get the 80mm throttle body? Well, my car's an LLT Camaro V6, so that's the 2010 and 2011s. And you can't actually get the 80mm throttle body because the plugs are different. So let's go ahead and get into this video, into the install. If you want to see more content like this, we've got a heck of a lot coming up for the Camaro. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, but let's get right into the video. Alright, so to remove the throttle body right up in there, what we're going to have to try and do is remove this. Now I personally run a Veram ram air style cold air intake, which might make this install a little bit more challenging, as I'm going to have to remove both of those clamps right in there, and then I'm going to have to remove these bolts right there. There's going to be one on the bottom, top right, and bottom right. They might be a little bit challenging to get to, especially the bottom one right in there. It's behind the sensor a little bit, and just due to the intake that I have on the car, it might be quite challenging to be able to get to. So I'm going to go ahead, and once I get those bolt sizes, I'll let you know and start trying to take them off. Alright guys, so I went ahead and removed my Veram intake right here. Not too difficult, just pulled off the coupler with these clamps right in there. Then once I was able to remove that, one thing I had to do that I wasn't sure is I had to measure out the gap right there, and that was 3 inches. And now I know on the larger ported, the 76, excuse me, it is a 3.25 inch diameter. So I need to get a new coupler instead of, I believe, a 3 inch to 3 inch, I believe on that one. I'm gonna go from a 3 inch to a 3.25 inch. So that doesn't come when you order that, the kit from Overkill. So what you gotta do is go to a store or go online and order yourself a 3 to 3.25 inch coupler if you have the Veram intake, which for me I do, and I couldn't find that anywhere, so I had to measure that out, and that's something I'm going to do. And I'm going to see what the local auto parts store has, but since my car is black with green stripes up there, I'm probably going to go ahead, and if the auto parts store doesn't have the 3 to 3.25 in green, probably find one and order it. Something literally really small, but it's something that I think would do a good job to dress up and bring a bit of green into my engine bay. So next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove those 4 bolts right there and take off the stock throttle body. Alright, so before running to the store, I made sure to pull off the throttle body. There's going to be a little gasket in there as well, which I just put up there. And then I went ahead and removed it. So make sure there are the 4 bolts that go there, and there. But make sure you pull off this clip here. I thought originally it would be down here, but then I went to pull it off and it will be right there. That little clip. Make sure to remove that. And as you can tell, the old one's got some gunk in it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the clip right there, clean this up a little bit, and then show you guys the differences between this one, which is a stock 72mm throttle body, versus a ported Overkill 76mm throttle body. Now the port that I had done was done by Kenny Camaro Roberts, on the forums. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and remove that, clean it up, and show it to you guys upstairs. As you guys can see, I was able to remove the stock 72 millimeter throttle body. I cleaned it up as much as I can / really wanted to, just enough to be able to handle it, and removed the stock coupler, or the Veram intake coupler. Now for the newer throttle body, it needed a 3" to 3 1/4" coupler. So that was something that I had to order separately. And so let's just do a quick size comparison between the stock 72 and this one right here, the ported 76. I also went ahead and bought myself a green coupler because I think that will match the car a little bit better. But side by side, fitted completely right next to each other, the size difference is pretty massive, as you guys can tell right here. So obviously this one's the new one that's going on, and because of the size difference on the kind of inside part of it, I needed a 3.25" instead of a 3" collect on it. So if we want to move this over here and take a look at it, I got this from Overkill Motorsports. It's where a lot of our V6 parts come from. It's really reflecting the light right now. Let's see if I can focus her better now. And so it's a 76, and it was hand ported by Camaro Roberts on the forums. Wow, the light is really crazy right now, but as you can tell, it was ported all up in there on the inside. Let's see if I can get a better focus on it. Maybe. There we go. So it's all ported throughout on both sides here, and this is going to do really good for not necessarily horsepower, but it's going to do really good for smoothing out the torque curve. And supposedly I'm supposed to pick up about maybe 7 horsepower or so, and then with the porting as well, it will really smooth it out and take out the dead spot that I have between about 2,000 and 3,000 RPM that most V6 owners face. So that's something that I'm kind of excited about, and we will see how much power this actually, if I'll be able to tell a difference or anything like that. But the size wise is pretty sizable. While it looks like it's got a big groove in there, it's super smooth on the inside. Both the face, and this part right here, the flat part of it, have all been hand ported down by Camaro Roberts. He even indents his little name on there. We can get it to focus, which I'm sure we won't be able to because it doesn't want to. But this one says 132, so I'm guessing this is the 132nd ported 76 millimeter throttle body that he's done. I could be incorrect on that. He could have done a lot more. I know a lot of people go from the 72 to the 80, and a lot of people will be asking, why didn't I just do the 80 millimeter throttle body? But that is because I have the LLT car, which has the ports right here for just the 76. I looked about getting the 80, but that does not install in the car. So that's the difference between the two. Now let's go ahead and let's go put this on the car. Alright, so I went ahead and threw the coupler on, also while tightening down the bolts right there on the throttle body. And so I've got that installed. As you can see, it's the stock LLT intake manifold, and we've got our ported 76 millimeter throttle body on there, and my coupler right there that fits that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my intake kind of down, because it's a Veram intake. It's positioned here in the front, not the side like most cars and most intakes. So I'm going to go ahead and finagle that on and get that attached up to the throttle body. Alright, we were able to get the front air intake attached to the throttle body right there. It did take a little bit of extra finagling to get that on there, but what I found out worked best was to get the throttle body completely on there, and then attach it to the air intake right there, and then keep the couplers both pretty loose, or the tighteners pretty loose, the clamps, sorry about that, clamps pretty loose, and then just kind of work its way on there. So that's what I got to do, and now I'm going to go ahead and start it, let it idle for a while, because it's going to take a while for the engine to understand that there's more airflow coming through. So I'm going to let it idle for a while, for 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and take it out on a drive to let the ECU understand that there's more airflow coming in. So it should be probably a weird idle, but we shall see. Seems like the car is idling pretty well. I figured it'd take a little bit of time to learn, but so far, nothing so far. One thing that I will mention is, let me come in here, get you in here. As you can see, all of the lights went on, all of the dash lights right there. Let's focus. All of the lights went on right there, so we're still gonna let it idle a little bit, and as you can tell, it's idling pretty well. So I like to see that, and then after this, after a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and take it out on a drive and see what it takes to learn. All right, guys, I've been driving the car for a little bit, and as you can tell, the traction control and stuff like that, lights have come off. These were already existing, so it's the lights all went off. And I will give you my driving impressions inside here in a second when I go to close out the video for you guys. Alright guys, so there you have it. We've got the larger 76mm ported throttle body on my 2010 Chevy Camaro. Now I'd go out and show you a test drive of it, but I got it done. It's about 10:30 right now at night. So if you guys are interested in a driving video of it, let me know in the comments down below. But my first opinions on it is that it sounds very similar, doesn't really change much. Those lights went off as I showed in that last little clip, so that was a good thing. I don't have any meter to take it off or anything like that, because at this point I'm still running untuned. But I do think the car drives faster, a little bit more sprite, and especially between that 2,000 and 3,000 RPM band, it really likes to pull off a lot harder than it used to. Now this ain't me just pulling something completely out of left field. I've had this car and driven it for 50,000 miles in about 5 or 6 years, just under 6 years at this point. So I really do put miles on the car and drive it and know the ins and outs and all of that car. Do I think that it is worth it? Heck yeah. Now, it's not the first thing that I would do to the car or anything like that, but if you're at this stage where you've already done exhaust and you've already done a cold air intake, I think a bolt-on 76mm ported throttle body really helps. Now I don't know if you just buy from Overkill, how that would do, because I got mine ported aftermarket as well. Now the larger throttle body from Overkill I think is $249, and then I got the porting service done by Kenny Camaro Roberts off of the Facebook forums. I would highly recommend it. I mean, I don't know the difference between before and after. I mean, I can look at the difference and see, but performance-wise, I really like the way that this turned out. So all in all, this was about $350, so kind of, not as cheap as necessarily you would like it, but at the end of the day, I'm super happy, and it'll be really interesting to see if it gets any results. I personally think it gives a little bit of gain, and like I say, between that 2,000 and 3,000 RPM mark, you can really tell the difference. So let me know in the comments down below what you think, if you have any questions on it, if you want to do it yourself. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, because it costs you nothing and it really helps me out fantastically. I'd love to keep growing the channel and keep doing mods for you guys, because in the next few videos here, we got a lot coming for the Camaro. and you don't want to miss it. So definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you get notified the second that I upload. And just like that, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.